Herbie is not an ordinary car. Years ago, he was the fastest race car on the track, unbeaten race after race, touring the country with his owner and living through one incredible adventure after another. Then one day, everything falls apart. Herbie is involved in a terrible accident and he is never the same again. Race after race, he starts losing. People stop believing in him and eventually, he is hauled away to a junkyard left to rot among the wreckage of forgotten cars. The moment Herbie rolls into the yard, he meets Dave, the gruff owner of the junkyard, and the two of them despise each other on sight. The truck driver pulls Dave aside and warns him, telling him not to mess with this car because Herbie still has pride running through his rusted frame. Sure enough, when Dave tries to drag him off the trailer, Herbie retaliates, immediately spraying oil all over Dave's shoes. This car is not going down without a fight. Dave and the driver shove and heave, trying to force Herbie into position, while Herbie throws his weight against them, refusing to budge. Just when it looks like the two men might win, Herbie spots his chance. He breaks free and takes off on his own, rolling toward what looks like a way out, but it's a trap. Before he can escape, his tires blow out and he's stuck completely helpless. With nowhere left to go, Herbie gives up the fight. He sits there surrounded by rusting wrecks, waiting for the day the crusher finally comes for him. Weeks pass. Across town, a young woman named Maggie Payton shows up to her college graduation, not driving in like everyone else, but rolling in on a skateboard. She's earned her degree in journalism, and once the ceremony ends, she celebrates with her father, Ray. He couldn't be prouder. Maggie is the first person in their family to graduate from college. Her mother died when she was just a little girl, but Ray tells her that if her mother could see her now, she'd be bursting with pride too. Right then, Maggie's best friend Charisma pulls up in a brand new car, a graduation gift from her parents. The two of them are thrilled. In 1 month, they're packing up and moving to New York together to start their new lives. Meanwhile, Ray, who works as a racing coach, brings Maggie out to the track to watch her brother Ray Jr. run a practice lap. There they run into Sally, one of the sponsors backing their racing team. But the moment the race begins, Ray Jr. loses control coming out of a turn and crashes hard. He's trying, but it's obvious he just doesn't have what it takes. In just a few weeks, he's supposed to compete in a major NASCAR race, and right now things are not looking good. That night back home, Maggie sits alone and studies the photographs hanging on the wall. One picture stops her cold: her grandfather. He was one of the greatest racers who ever lived, and he was Maggie's biggest hero growing up. As a kid, she dreamed of following in his footsteps and becoming a racer herself, but everything changed after a horrifying crash on the track left her hospitalized for 2 straight months. Ever since that day, her father has forbidden her from ever racing again. Before Maggie heads to bed, Ray reminds her that tomorrow, just like he promised, he's finally going to buy her a graduation gift. The next day, they head to a junkyard so Maggie can pick out her new car. Herbie watches every second of it. When he sees Maggie eyeing another old race car nearby, he decides right then and there that this is the girl he wants to go home with. He tries to roll closer to her, but he can't move. His rear wheels are gone, and he's stuck fast. Then things take a terrifying turn. The workers hook Herbie up and start towing him straight toward the crusher. This is it, his last chance. Herbie honks desperately, trying to catch Maggie's attention, but she's too busy admiring a Nissan sitting right in front of her. Just as she's about to seal the deal with Dave, Herbie tears free from the crane at the very last second and comes crashing down right on top of the Nissan, smashing it to pieces. With her first choice destroyed, Maggie decides to take the old Beetle instead. And just like that, Herbie has found himself a new home. Later, Ray patches up a few small things on the car and sends Maggie off to the repair shop so a mechanic named Kevin can give it a proper inspection. But as soon as Maggie climbs inside, something strange happens. The glove compartment pops open all on its own. Tucked inside is a letter from Herbie's previous owner, pleading with whoever takes the car next to look after him. Maggie feels a wave of emotion, but before she can process it, the engine roars to life and the car takes off, driving itself. Maggie panics. She isn't even touching the wheel. Herbie carries her straight to the repair shop, nearly running Kevin down along the way. Kevin is stunned to see Maggie standing in front of him. It's been years since they last crossed paths, and back in high school, Kevin had a massive crush on her, feelings that clearly haven't faded. After a bit of catching up, Kevin offers to fix the Beetle, but first he insists on taking it for a test drive. Out on the road, Herbie suddenly starts belching an enormous cloud of thick smoke, and the whole scene turns humiliating. Maggie is mortified, and she starts to think that buying this beat-up old car was a huge mistake. She even considers returning it, but Herbie has other plans. Out of nowhere, the car rears up and starts driving on just 2 wheels. Maggie completely loses control with no idea what's happening, and before she can stop it, they slam straight into a sports car exhibition. Inside, Maggie bumps into a few old classmates, and then someone far more famous appears. Trip, the reigning racing champion. A crowd instantly swarms him, begging for autographs and cheering his name. But right in the middle of it all, Herbie starts honking loud and relentless. Maggie throws open the hood to shut him up, but instead the car blasts a spray of oil straight across her shirt. With her shirt ruined, Maggie has no choice but to change clothes, and luckily Kevin digs up a racing suit and a helmet stashed in the trunk. Once she's dressed and back inside the car, something strange happens again. Herbie shoves her head straight down into the helmet, practically forcing her to put it on. That's when Trip spots the Beetle and can't help himself. He laughs in her face and tells her to take that clunker back to the circus where it belongs. Herbie doesn't take the insult lightly. He swings his side mirror out and scratches a long line right across Trip's expensive car. The crowd erupts and someone shouts that a race should settle this once and for all. Trip agrees instantly, eager for the chance to embarrass her. Maggie tries to climb out and apologize, but Herbie slams every door and window shut, trapping her inside. Before she can do anything about it, the car rolls itself straight onto the track, with Trip pulling up right beside them, ready to go. Crash drops the flag, and the race begins. Maggie grabs the wheel, but Herbie won't let her drive. He's fighting her for control. Old and battered as he is, he still manages to hang right on Trip's bumper. Trip refuses to race, clean swerving hard, trying to force them off the track. But something shifts inside Maggie. Her competitive fire ignites, and she decides she isn't backing down from anyone. She throws herself into the race alongside Herbie, and finally he lets her take the wheel for real. Now, they're a team. Together they surge forward, closing the gap on Trip. He tries one more dirty move to run them off the road, but Herbie dodges with a burst of moves that leave Trip stunned. He never saw any of it coming. As the finish line closes in, Herbie pulls off the impossible. He climbs straight up onto the safety barrier rockets ahead and crosses the line first in the final second of the race. When it's over, Herbie is running on fumes, completely spent, and Trip is left in disbelief. He just lost to a total unknown driving a beat-up old Beetle. Back at the garage, Maggie confesses something to Kevin. She doesn't feel like she actually won that race, she feels like Herbie did. Kevin brushes it off with a laugh, telling her she's got real talent, reminding her she just beat a future champion behind the wheel of a 1963 Beetle. The next morning, Maggie walks in on her father arguing with her brother and learns the awful truth. Their racing team has just lost another sponsor because of Ray Jr.'s string of bad performances. Right at that moment, Sally pulls up in her yellow Beetle, and instantly Herbie is smitten. Sally has brought along a videotape and she shows it to Ray, footage of the street race from the night before. Ray is floored to discover that the junkyard car Maggie bought actually won a real race. But instead of celebrating, he explodes with anger, furious that Maggie raced it all after he expressly told her to stay away from it. To calm him down, Maggie blurts out a quick lie. She wasn't the one driving, it was someone named Max. And just like that, on the spot, Max becomes her new racing identity. While Maggie quietly savors her secret win, Trip is seething. He refuses to accept losing, and even when his friend Larry tries to talk him down, insisting it was just some meaningless street race that nobody cares about, Trip's pride won't let it go. He wants revenge, so he orders his team to put together a massive 2-day race, confident that this mysterious Max will show up to take the bait. Later, Maggie heads back to Kevin's shop, where he pitches her his big idea, transforming Herbie into a fully upgraded real race car. But Maggie hesitates, racked with guilt. She tells Kevin she can't race again. After her accident, she promised her father she was done, and she already feels awful for lying to him once. While they're talking it over, Herbie spots a newspaper lying nearby with an ad for an upcoming race, the prize sitting at $10,000. When Maggie climbs back into the car, Herbie shakes his hood until the newspaper sticks right onto the windshield in front of her. The moment she sees that prize money, the wheels start turning in her head. That kind of cash could fund her move to New York and jumpstart her new life. Kevin sees his opening and makes her an offer. If she agrees to race, he'll fix Herbie up for free, and if they win, they'll split the prize money down the middle. Maggie is terrified, but she also knows this could be the only shot she gets. She says yes, and just like that, the real journey begins. Maggie and Kevin throw themselves into the work cleaning Herbie up, repairing his parts, and slowly rebuilding him into a genuine race car. At the same time, Maggie starts training again in secret. By the time they're done, Herbie looks better than he has in years, even sporting a brand new sunroof that makes him look cooler than ever. Meanwhile, across town, Trip and his buddy Crash can't stop wondering what makes this beat-up old Beetle so dangerous on the track. Trip becomes obsessed with uncovering whatever secret is hiding under Herbie's hood. That same night, Maggie happens to overhear a conversation between her father and Sally, and what she hears hits her like a punch to the gut. Ray is on the verge of losing his last remaining investors because Ray Jr. keeps losing race after race. The weight of it lands squarely on Maggie's shoulders, and she resolves that no matter what happens, she has to win the next race. Finally, race day arrives. Trip is caught off guard when he sees Herbie roll in, fully upgraded, now running with a turbocharger. Curiosity gets the better of him, and he presses Maggie about how exactly she came to know this mysterious driver called Max. But before he can dig any deeper, Kevin shows up right on time to pull her away. The race begins, dozens of cars packed onto the track, but only one of them is going to win. Whoever crosses the line first will face Trip head-to-head in the final race the very next day. and if they can beat him there too, they'll walk away with the full $10,000. Just as expected, Maggie and Herbie tear through the competition, beating every other racer and qualifying for the final round. Later, Trip sits down to study the race footage frame by frame, and that's when he spots it, a small lock of red hair slipping out from under Max's helmet. In an instant, he puts it together. Max is Maggie. That night, Herbie catches sight of the yellow Beetle again and rolls straight toward her. When Maggie and Kevin see what's happening, Maggie finally lets the truth out. Herbie isn't an ordinary car at all. He has a mind of his own, and she's finally ready to accept it. Kevin smiles and hands her a necklace as a good luck charm, and for a moment, things turn tender between them. They lean in, almost kissing. But suddenly, Trip's headlights cut through the moment, interrupting them. He tells Kevin to clear out because he wants to speak with Maggie alone. Once Kevin is gone, Trip gets serious. He asks Maggie why she keeps hiding behind a fake name when racing is clearly running through her veins. Then he drops something unexpected. He admits he became a racer because he grew up admiring Maggie's grandfather. Finally, he makes her an offer, tossing her the keys to his own race car and asking if she wants to know what it feels like to drive a real machine. Maggie agrees and heads off for a ride. Herbie watches the whole thing unfold and burns with jealousy. Meanwhile, Trip decides to poke around under Herbie's hood, but Herbie isn't having it. He blasts fuel straight into Trip's face and slams the hood down on his head. Furious, Trip grabs a tool and starts hammering on Herbie again and again, but not a single hit leaves a mark. Herbie is far tougher than he looks. The second Trip turns his back, Herbie even gets in one last mocking jab. A few minutes later, Maggie returns, absolutely glowing, calling it the best driving experience of her life. That's when Trip raises the stakes even further. Tomorrow's race won't just be for the $10,000, the winner will also take home the loser's car. Maggie balks at first, but then her mind drifts to her father and the team's mounting troubles. Trip's car is worth a fortune. Winning it could save her father's team. Convinced that she and Herbie can pull it off, she accepts the deal. But Herbie overhears every word of it, and it cuts deep. He feels like Maggie is already lining up to replace him. The next morning, Maggie runs into Charisma in the kitchen. Charisma suggests they move their New York plans up, but Maggie tells her she has an important race today and asks her to come watch instead. The two head to Kevin's shop, where Kevin looks uneasy. He warns Maggie that Herbie has been acting out of control and asks her to talk to him to calm him down. Instead, Maggie makes everything worse, ordering Herbie that he has to listen to her and do exactly as he's told. Herbie is left hurt and furious. Soon they arrive at the track and both cars line up side by side for the big showdown. The signal drops and the race is on. Herbie grabs the early lead, but slowly he starts slipping backward, and then right before the finish line, he suddenly stops dead. He throws the race on purpose. Maggie is stunned, climbing out of the car, totally confused and upset. Trip walks over and tells her it's time everyone found out who she really is. Maggie pulls off her helmet and the crowd goes silent in shock, especially her father. Kevin rushes to her side and says they should just leave, but Trip isn't letting anyone forget the deal. He takes Herbie right then and there. Maggie is heartbroken and furious all at once. As she walks away, her father catches up to her, and his disappointment isn't about losing the race, it's about the lie. Maggie tries to explain herself, but he won't hear it. He turns his back and walks off. That same day, Maggie decides she's done, and she leaves for New York with Charisma. But somewhere along the road, Charisma helps her see the truth. Running away won't fix anything. If she truly loves something, she has to fight for it. So Maggie turns the car around. She marches straight up to Trip and demands her car back. Trip lies to her face, claiming Herbie is simply out for a drive. The real truth is far worse. Herbie has been sold into a monster truck show set to be smashed apart for entertainment. Inside the arena, Herbie is already being battered from every direction by massive trucks. The second Maggie sees it, she panics and tries to run inside, but security blocks her path. So instead, she pleads with the show's owner and offers to buy Herbie back. He strikes a deal. If the Beetle survives the show, she gets to take him home for free. Just then, a hulking monster truck rolls into the arena, ready to finish Herbie off for good. While Charisma keeps the guard distracted, Maggie sprints into the arena, dodging speeding cars and narrowly avoiding getting flattened as she fights her way toward Herbie. The moment Herbie sees her, something in him reignites. His hope comes roaring back. At the very last second, just as Maggie is about to get hit, Herbie yanks her to safety, pulling her in through the sunroof. They're together again. Crash gets thrown clear from his vehicle, and now Maggie and Herbie are working as one, dodging every attack aimed at them. The monster truck hunts them relentlessly, trying to crush them flat, but Herbie is too clever for it. Together, they use another wrecked car as a ramp launch off it and come crashing down on top of the monster truck, destroying it completely. Having beaten every threat in the arena, Maggie finally escapes with Herbie and drives him straight to Kevin's shop. Kevin is horrified by the damage, but he dives in to help anyway. The next day, they head out to watch Ray Jr. race, but once again he crashes hard. This time it's serious enough that he's rushed to the hospital, and the doctors deliver devastating news. He's lost depth perception in one eye, meaning his racing career is over for good. Ray Jr. begs his father to let Maggie take his spot in the upcoming NASCAR race, but Ray shuts the idea down immediately. That's when Maggie finally speaks her mind. She tells her father that racing is the one thing she has ever truly wanted, and she demands to know why he won't trust her when she's only ever had a single accident compared to her brother's long string of them. Ray finally breaks down and tells her the real reason. She reminds him so much of her mother, and he already lost her once. He is terrified of losing Maggie the same way. Meanwhile, Kevin runs into trouble trying to repair Herbie. He's out of parts, and his supplier refuses to help until an old debt gets paid off. Just then, Ray Jr. comes to Maggie and urges her to take his place in the NASCAR race, telling her to do it no matter what their father says. Maggie agrees, but on one condition: she'll only race if she can do it behind the wheel of Herbie. So Ray Jr. rallies the entire team, and everyone pitches in to get Herbie race ready in time, replacing his whole body, swapping out the tires, and giving him a brand new look, finishing him off with a fresh paint job that makes him shine like never before. Finally, race day arrives. Every eye in the stadium is locked on the track. The instant Tripp spots Herbie again, his anger flares right back up, and he storms over to Larry, demanding to know why that car was never gotten rid of. Nothing anyone says can settle him down. Before the race starts, Maggie takes a quiet moment alone with Herbie, apologizing for everything and thanking him for never once abandoning her. Then the two of them roll up to the starting line together with every eye in the place fixed on them. Watching from home, Ray sees Maggie on television and feels a wave of nerve. He doesn't want her getting hurt, but underneath it, there's real pride too. The engines roar to life, the cars run a few warm-up laps, and then the race begins for real. At first, Maggie and Herbie fall behind as the other cars take the lead, but bit by bit, they start clawing their way forward, gaining one position at a time. Back at home, Ray can't just sit and watch anymore. He shuts off the television and races to the track to see his daughter in person. After the first pit stop, the race tightens up even further. Tripp is out front, but Herbie surges up right behind him. Suddenly, a wall of cars closes in around them, and it looks like there's no way through. Then Maggie hears something cut through the noise. Her father's voice cheering her on, telling her she can do this. It gives her exactly the strength she needs, and she powers forward, breaking free of the trap. But a new crisis hits immediately after. Herbie is leaking oil, and if it isn't fixed, they won't even finish the race. At the next pit stop, the crew scrambles to patch the tank, warning Maggie that one more hard hit and Herbie won't survive it. Back on the track, they've fallen behind again, but not for long. Soon they're right back on Tripp's tail. With just half a lap remaining, the two cars run side by side in a brutal close fight. Tripp makes one final desperate push to shove them off the track, and the patch on Herbie's tank starts peeling loose. Everything is hanging by a thread. Then Maggie loses control and slams into the wall. Tripp's car spins out right along with her, blocking the entire track. For a moment, it looks like it's all over, but then Herbie pulls off the impossible one more time, climbing straight up onto the safety barrier, just like before, rocketing forward, seizing the lead, and crossing the finish line first. They win. With that victory, Maggie becomes the first woman ever to win a NASCAR championship, and the whole place erupts in celebration. Her father, her brother, and Kevin are all bursting with pride. Off to the side, Tripp storms away, furious, still shouting to anyone who will listen that the car is alive. Finally, Kevin gets his moment. Maggie pulls him into a kiss and thanks him for standing by her through everything. Weeks later, life has settled into something better. Ray calls Herbie back home, telling him there's already another big race on the horizon, and now Herbie isn't alone anymore. He's found his perfect partner, and maybe even something like love.